Hey kids, I'm always excited when it works right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Tipsy Irishman. I forgot what we're doing here. It's been a long day, a long week. Hey, how are you? With me as always is Jake. We have a little. We're just doing a little sponsor today because we're cramming the show in
Well,
before
yeah, there's way too many bottles up
we
here.
all go do something. So go to getgrinds.com, put in the Tipsy Irishman sent you. That'll help me. Hopefully, it helps you. And we have, as you can see, a great array of beautiful things here. I'm going to take my glasses off so the glare stops sitting in and you go, I can't see what you're doing. And excuse my Star Wars accoutrement today, but
Oh, I didn't know the hat
I'm
too.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
feeling it. So that's what we're doing today. No lightsabers today. They're
My
in the
son got
house.
a necklace for Christmas. It's like a lightsaber, and then above it's like the kyber crystal that I guess goes in it or something. He's
Ooh,
very happy about
that's
that.
very cool.
Yeah,
We'll have to bring lightsabers over when he's
he's very
next time I
pumped.
come over. We got him one too. So now we were battling the other day. He was coming at me he's like, ah! I'm like, oh shit. Be careful what you get your kids, man. They might come after you. But anyways, I will be quiet now so that Jake can explain what the hell we're doing here.
I gotta wipe all the dust off these bottles, man. We've talked about this video for a while.
Dusty story.
The 1792 video, right? That the lineup is huge. This is only a small sampling. With us tonight, we've got the single barrel, the bottled and bond, and the sweet wheat. What we didn't bring was the port finish, the high rye, and the full proof.
High
rye. I think that they do a high
rye.
rye. Which their high rye would be like significantly high rye because their base mash bill is already supposed to be high rye. It's undisclosed. The 1792 distillery, the Barton Distillery, is actually owned by Sazerac. I was looking up a little information on this video.
Barstown?
No, 1792 Barton.
Oh, Barton.
So the Barton Distillery is actually owned by Sazerac now, which Sazerac is just swallowing up the world. But these three offerings I thought would be great for Ed because they're the lowest entry proof, and they're probably the three in the lineup that you will see most often available kind of in your local stores. All of these come in, except for the sweet wheat. The single barrel, the bottled and bond, and the full proof come in store pick versions. I actually have store picks of a few of them, and so that it's available to your.
I think we've tried them.
Probably had it at the house.
Yeah.
But your local guy can put in to the distributor to get store picks of these, which is really, really cool.
Excuse me, guys. I'm trying to say this is all shadowed over here. Sorry.
But again, the 1792 lineup is huge. It's just like every other kind of major distiller right now, right? They're putting out some interesting offerings, and I thought it's kind of high time that we jumped in. This is a brand new distillery for us. We haven't done anything from these guys. They don't really offer much else. I was going through the product list. The Thomas S. Moore is Barton. You've probably seen that bottle. That it's kind of tall and skinny and kind of waves in on the side, and the logo on the front's kind of at a diagonal. And anyway,
I think I have seen that.
It's a good pour. I like the Thomas Moore stuff. But the people that are fanatical about this are absolutely fanatical about it. And kind of the cool thing about it is
single barrel. Okay.
We're gonna start with the single barrel. When you find it, and again, it's not super available, these bottles, but they do come out throughout the year. They're really inexpensive.
Even just the base one at my place is only
$29, maybe $30.
I think it's like 33 for a.
I think most of these are coming in right around $40.99 to maybe $50. On the retail
I think
side,
the handle's under 50.
The sweet wheat just dropped here locally. The sweet wheat was everywhere, and those were running the gamut between 45 and 70 wherever you went.
That smells delicious.
Yeah, the smell on these is great. So again, the mash bill is meant to be high rye on these, so the 15 to 25% rye.
I can kind of get a little rye in there.
That's really caramely. It's really sweet. It's got a very sweet smell to me.
It smells so good.
Yeah, it's almost kind of a banana flavor, almost a little fruity flavor to me.
I'm not getting the fruit yet.
Definitely sweet.
Definitely the caramel, little rye.
Caramel and sweet, no proof.
Almost a little vanilla too.
No alcohol, definitely a little vanilla in there, but there's no burn to it whatsoever.
No. Unless you snort it.
Yeah, well, don't drink it up your nose. Cheers.
Ding, ding. Cheers. Well, that's a lot different than it tastes.
There's the high rye.
Yeah, there's the rye.
There's the high rye.
Hi. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Right, you get it.
Yeah.
You get it in the gums. You get it everywhere.
Wow, that's interesting.
Right. So here's so what would you say proof on something like that? Right. The predominant note on the palate to me is a little bit of a pepper spice. It's kind of I'm not a giant 1792 fan, one of the first store pick bottles I had was foolproof. It was very early on in my whiskey kind of journey, and I cracked that thing, and I was like,
110.
I think it's like 95.
Shut up.
I'm telling you, dude.
Oh, it's single barrel. I should have.
98.6.
That's what that. Oh, 90 or 80?
98.6. So you're off around almost 14 proof points. I mean, that's it. It drinks hotter than the proof.
You said single. I should have gone maybe 10. I should have gone no more than 105. I forgot it was
Single barrels can be higher, but I mean,
But like when you go like a good single barrel, you know, the what is it? EH. That's 100 proof, right?
again, it's very tasty.
Very good.
You're definitely getting the caramel. I think the caramel jumps out to me. I'm getting a kind of banana smell on the
I
nose,
like
and
when
I'm not getting on the
I
palate.
like when the burn is here and doesn't. Sometimes I do like the radiant, but I like when it's not going down the thickest, softest.
When I can feel it in my gums, I know it's high rye. So when I swish it, and that you probably hear it in the audio, it probably drives some people nuts when I kind of suck air through it and I swish it. When it gets into my gums and I can feel that kind of that sensation,
Even without the mics, I still could hear that.
I think that to me is indicative of the high rye mash bills. That tells me right off the bat. That tongue tells me proof. My gums tell me kind of mash bill content. So we're going to jump out of single barrel, which again, $39.99, maybe $49.99 for a single barrel.
For a single barrel?
Not age stated. So these aren't age stated offerings, and they're relatively low proof, right? That's under 100 proof. So there are some things that if you didn't know any better and you're looking at the label, that would kind of be a turnoff. It's not age stated. There's no mash bill. It's under 100 proof. You know what I mean? So if you weren't already a 1792 fan or a Barton fan, you would be taking a risk.
I love the bottle.
The bottle shape is cool. I think the bottle shape to me is old school. Yeah. This looks like something you would see.
It's funny you say that because when I first saw it before I tried it at your house, I was like, it just looks cheap.
It looks like
And
something
it's
you'd see at a pool hall in the 70s. Like like you walk into a pool hall in the 70s and you'd see this sitting behind the bar. And again, the difference, right? The main lettering is all the same. The only difference here is the small lettering across the top telling you what it is and the color of the band on the neck. So once you get used to, when you see this brown one, you know it's sweet wheat. This is the crowd favorite. So it's the second one we're going to jump into. This is 1792 sweet wheat. Obviously much more wheat in the mash bill. Again, not disclosed though, so they're not going to tell you what's in it, but it's marketed as sweet wheat. Which the nose on that to me.
Sorry. Now that's a banana there, definitely.
I can't pick wheat out on a nose by itself, but comparing the two side by side, I can smell that kind of grainy, almost bready note that's indicative of a high wheat mash bill.
I smell banana nose.
Oh really? You get more fruit that one? See, I get the green on that one more than anything. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. I like that better now. No heat, for sure.
Definitely a much sweeter pour.
Mm-hmm.
No heat, but the finish is hanging out.
Oh, well, yeah, sweet wheat. Right?
The finish is definitely hanging out.
There. It kind of does that whole, makes your mouth water.
So. That got me in the back of the jaw. That's really good. Again, I don't reach for these very often. They're kind of buried in the Narnia cabinet, but
make you a plaque that actually says that.
Yeah, right, Jake's Narnia. It's actually, I got Broken Barrel design stickers all over mine from Sean. But that is I don't
know if that, but if you went to this straight before I touched that, I might be like, this is.
That's a significantly different pour.
Yeah.
Significantly different. So the single barrel was definitely
deciding if I like it or not.
Caramely. This I don't get as much of the caramel. I'm getting more of the barrel.
I want to say this is in the 80s.
What 80 what?
86.
92. So this is a much.
I'm way off.
Again, a much lower proof offering than what the market has kind of been demanding lately. You know what I mean? Most of the new stuff coming out.
96?
So 96 year in 92 on the sweet wheat. This is like 92.8 or something.
I do like over 90.
91.2. It's very, very low.
I was better on that one than I was on that one.
This might be one of the lowest proof bottles I actually have in my cabinet at this point. But it doesn't drink significantly low. It's still got some of that high rye mash bill mouth feel to it, which I enjoy.
I love the smell on it though, but I love the smell on that one too. I think if I hadn't had that, I'd be like, yes, this is great.
And that pepper finish is cool. It's a very sweet drink. swish it around your mouth, and then you let it just kind of dissipate, and the pepper builds on the tongue.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows me knows.
But it makes you you're getting the mouth water.
Yes,
like
exactly.
last,
yeah, it's kind of
like
dry.
last show we liked it. It was great, but we had super cotton mouth after we were done.
It's definitely a little drying, but I like that in my whiskeys. I like that heat to build. I like it. I don't want to be a punch in the face the moment you put your lips to the glass. The sip, the getting of the flavor notes, and then it kind of builds into the heat. I like a lot. Actually, that is very, very good. So last but not least, bottled and
stab
bond.
in the dark here. That's 100 proof. Nailed it.
Nailed it, right? So this is going to be 1792 bottled and bond. So there's a couple things we can infer from that, right? It may not be age stated, but to be bottled and bond, it's got to be at least 4 years old. Coming in at 100 proof in a bonded warehouse, all that fun stuff.
Oh shit! That was
again,
fun.
They don't give you a ton on the label. There's really nothing to this, right? It's just Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
I kind of like the simplicity of the nothing. This is different. Try it.
Well, I did just notice that. So they do call it Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. There's a definition.
That one's good.
There's a definition for that. I don't remember it off the top of my head. I'm reading a book called Warehouse H that's all about the history of blends, and they were talking about the difference between bourbon whiskey and Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. There is an actual definition for that I probably should have known before jumping into this. Because it may have helped us.
You know more than me. So
it could have helped us kind of figure out maybe some mash bill components.
I like that right off the bat. Reminds me of Heaven Hill. Right off the bat. Heaven Hill all day.
It doesn't have the same sweet fruit notes as the single barrel.
No. A little more ethanol punch though.
Coming in 100 proof. It doesn't have any of that weedy bready note.
Nope.
I mean, I'm still getting that weedy bready note out of the sweet wheat.
The smell tells me this is going to be excellent.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Smells great. Cheers.
That's what I'm thinking. And I wasn't wrong. That's great. That's a beautiful 100 proof right there. Smooth, to the point.
Man, if you had given that to me blind, I might have told you that was E.H. Taylor. It's sweet up front, and the finish on this, which is so funny to me. This is the highest.
E.H. Taylor what though?
Like small batch.
Really?
The finish on this is short.
I haven't had that in a while. Maybe that's why I can't remember.
Let's break one out now.
I got a little one in the.
The finish on this is shorter than the other two, and it's a higher proof. Like that's not lingering like the other ones did.
I like this.
I like it a lot too.
I feel the drying coming down. I
mean, you can swish that all around. That is a significantly muted finish.
I'm done. This and Heaven Hill bottle and bond.
Yeah.
If you put them if you blind, you would not tell the difference.
You know, it's funny. There's a lot of those bottled in bond fight videos coming out right now with the whiskey tubers that are doing this, that, and the other kind of bottled in bond and bouncing them off each other. Which
I like a good 100 proof. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like to be over 100. I drink too much, so I like to sip it.
I like the proof on this. I don't think these are underproofed particularly. I think they drink just fine.
No.
Again, they both got really, really good finishes to them.
You know, it'd be interesting is to throw all of these in a barrel.
Oh, we're at like David's house or something.
Give them 6 months.
Let them sit. You can only get half back.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
There is a foolproof store pick coming in
Might be awesome,
to M&D here in a couple of weeks. Jay's supposed to get a 1792 foolproof pick, which I'll probably still snag one.
So it'll be like a 125.
It is usually around 125. Those ones.
Called that one.
It's one of the few bottles I have to put ice on. 1792 foolproof and Stag Junior are like the two that I absolutely have to put ice on when I drink it. But when there's ice on it, I think they're delicious. I just don't get all caught up in the hype. And so in talking to the owner up at my local store,
he had a little rough on the Junior. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, he had the option. So his distributor gave him the option between foolproof or a bottled in bond store pick, and he went with the foolproof because it just sells higher and the marketing is way better on the foolproof. There's a lot of people out there now that are proof hounds. It's just what they want, and so it'll obviously sell better. His last batch sold out really, really quick.
Yeah, it's hard for me too. Like now, because now like. When I'm running low on everything, I go to the store and I'm like, oh, what do you want? That's really good, but that's 80 proof. Like it doesn't do it for me anymore. It's like, no.
I just got like a wave of.
It's good, dude.
I just got a wave of like almost like apricot-y, fruity notes out of it, which I didn't get initially.
You are correct.
Yeah, but only out of the Bottled and Bond. I didn't get out of the other two.
I think they all three taste completely different, but then similar, if that makes any sense.
I think the Bottled and Bond to me tastes completely different than the single barrel and the sweet wheat. The sweet
Yeah.
wheat and the single barrel are a little closer together,
I would say if I was doing a top, middle, and
which is interesting because the sweet wheat sells like crazy, dude. Again, it dropped here locally,
Yeah.
and all the stores had a couple cases, and it's gone. The sweet wheat sells so fast.
so for me, not to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, I tend to steer away, and this is gonna be stupid because it's all sugar. Is I tend to steer away from things for me that are more sugary tasting. I'd rather have the heat and that kind of stuff for me. And I find that when I steer away from that, I have less mornings that are issues.
I would have told you if you had asked me this morning, what my favorite 1792 is. I probably would have told you sweet wheat. But after doing these back to back to back, I think it's a Bottled and Bond.
It's delicious,
I did enjoy the sweet wheat when I first
And-
opened it a lot.
and it's cheaper than even at my store. It's a cheaper Heaven Hill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That Bottled and Bond. I'm telling you, man. I got a store pick here locally, and I think I paid $52.99, and I think I overpaid. For a store pick Bottled and Bond. Yeah.
of this.
Yeah. I didn't bring it tonight because I didn't think it would be fair, since none of these were store picks. But I'm very interested to jump into that one now. I bought it because a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of.
You gotta revisit stuff sometimes.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
As a prime example, when I first started the show, if you guys remember way back when, I don't think we were barely in double digits. I got a sample from Ryan Bowles, thank you, Ryan, of Stag Junior, and I did not like it. Not a fan. I got a new bottle of Stag Junior, and I'm in a different palate these days, and it is one of the best things I own. So
yeah, you got to grow into
So-
that Stag Junior, man. That's not a beginner pour. There's no doubt.
it's not an everyday drinker.
No,
either.
God, and it's definitely not a sit down and drink 3 or 4 of them. Like you pour yourself one and you're pretty pumped about it.
Or don't drink it if you've had two 117s, and then do that as the
It's the
nightcap.
Yeah, I have that problem too. I'll do the exact same thing. I'll grab
And
one
then you
for
get
a
called into
nightcap.
work the next day. Oh no!
I just went back to the single barrel. The finish on that single barrel is outrageous. The finish on that single barrel is better than either of the other ones. I'm kind of torn. The Bottled and Bond, this has definitely got a little more fruity, sweety flavor to it. I love the finish on this, though. I like that kind of peppery spice when
do
you're
like the
not
pepper.
overwhelmed with proof. You get that same finish in the full proof, but man, at 125, 126 proof, that's 24% higher than this. That is a significant jump in proof, and it really punches you. Like it
I gotta say they're all messing with me with the proof, so that I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, this one drinks. I think this one, the single barrel for 96, drinks a little higher than the 96.
Absolutely.
It's definitely got some heat to it, but very, very good across the board. I'm glad I revisited
So
it.
what's your list?
I think I just switched. I think I just went single bottled sweet wheat. I like the finish on this a lot. I kind of a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice.
I like this. If you could get this with a little bit of the pepper and a little more heat, I would be really happy.
But again, it is interesting that these are 3 offerings of same distillery that
I
are
love that though.
they're very, very different. Very, very different. When you do them back to back like this, they are significantly different. This one is caramely, sweet, and heat. This one's kind of got a little bit of a fruity note to it, and at the 100 proof, doesn't have much of the finish. And the sweet wheat's kind of got that bready, grainy
Funny though.
taste.
The sweet on that doesn't taste sugary. Sweet on this to me tastes
Mhm.
sugary.
Yeah, well, and you'll get that with that super low proof. 91 point something is. I'm telling you, that's probably the lowest proof bottle I have in my house. That is a very, very low proof
I
bottle.
have 86.6 is my lowest one right now.
But all in all, delicious. Very, very good.
I also bought a benchmark full proof yesterday. Just to drink.
You're punishing yourself.
It gets the job done with 2 drinks. I'm good to go. Or even one, for
Yeah.
that matter.
I-
Or even one.
This is honestly a tough decision. I like the flavor on this better. I like the finish on this better. But across the board, very,
Could
very
you
good.
pick them out blindfolded?
No, I don't know enough about the distillery. I don't drink them enough to pick them up blindfold. There ain't no way. If these had snuck into a blind, I wouldn't have told you they were.
So I mean, if
1792.
we just did those 2 and I put them down blindfolded, could you pick them out right now?
Maybe just because the finish on this one is
The
significantly
smell
better.
would definitely give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the finish on the single barrel lasts twice
Oh,
as
it's
long.
delicious.
I kind of count, right? When I take that sip and I start counting in my head, if I get over 15 seconds and it's still kind of lingering and tingling, that to me is a good lengthy finish. the bottled and bond dissipates pretty quick. The single barrel hangs
And it
out.
dried me out pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's very drying. Very, very drying.
That happens though when you get over into the hundreds. Sometimes it dries you out.
But again, I'm glad we decided to do this. I'm glad we decided to revisit it. It kind of changes my overall opinion on the distillery and the bottles themselves. Because like we said when we started this, I'm not a huge 1792 fan, or at least I wasn't. But after this, I'll be looking for that bottled and bond of that single barrel.
He did to himself what he did to me with the Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I did. It changed the way I look at the distillery. I will now be looking out for bottled and bond and single barrel. I don't seek them out. I don't hunt them very much, but
And to be honest, they're kind of mellow. Like you can literally walk by it and not realize, oh, that's a 1792.
yeah.
Because they kind of blend in. You know, I kind of like where they got them now. They got them at my place. They got them kind of surrounded with some good stuff. So you kind of go, oh, 1792.
Mhm.
I sell the hell out of the handles though.
Yeah, the small batch is good.
I sell the handles like
That's a good pour.
crazy.
Yeah.
I probably sell 6 a week.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So
Agreed.
probably the same dude buying all 6 of them, but
Not me.
well, with that, I'd like to thank Jake, and I hope you all had a great Christmas, and
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
New Year's is
New
coming,
Year's,
and
coming on.
this is kind of the New Year's show because he's going somewhere, and I've got to go to work,
Yeah, I'll be in North Carolina skiing.
and so you have a good New Year's. Drink responsibly, or get a ride.
Yeah, correct.
We can't afford to lose any more members on the show. So, okay, if you're watching, if you could do it, great. If you like this or even think it's stupid, comical, funny, we're totally stupid, don't know what we're talking about, think we're the best thing you ever heard of, whatever the reason, go ahead and hit a like, send us a message, subscribe would be great. No pressure, but we could really use it. We've been doing this for a couple years now. We need a little bit more love. So if you know someone and they just like to do some nice bathroom viewing, tell them, hey, there's a great show you can watch while you're on the job. We're okay with that. Just don't tell us what you're doing when you're doing it. And with that being said, my friends, remember to drink one for us, because we're definitely going to be drinking one for you in about 5 minutes. And we will see you on the first show of the new year.
I'm 2024. Good.
There we go.